Paul and Ben, our estimates are again, very close to zero. Now, I keep almost reaching for that. Let me throw a couple of caveats in here so that I'm not the most negative person in the room or something like that. There are two caveats I want to throw in. One, just to emphasize, I'm not arguing that immigration has no positive benefits, right? I'm arguing that its positive and negative benefits seem to kind of offset. Now, that may mean that there are very particular circumstances where the positive benefits really are dominant. And it's possible, for example, the rural economy is one of them. It certainly, historically, I think it really is plausible to argue that that's the case. The second, and this comes back to Leanne's talk, it's possible that if we're getting zeros when we look at data as things stand now, that if we could do a better job of integration, we could get positives. Okay, so that's the third caveat is a lot of this evidence is actually U.S. evidence. Some of it's not. Some of my work and some of the work with George Borjas is Canadian, uses Canadian data, but a whole bunch of this is American, and the reason is because you need to examine differences across cities, right? And they have a lot more cities than we have, so you can get that kind of variation a lot better there than we can. But let me just close by saying, again, my reading of this literature is you see estimates and claims from people like George Borjas who argue for something that sounds like a big negative. My reading of the literature is that it's in fact somewhere close to zero. And again, my view is that what that means is that it frees us up to think about immigration as part of nation building. My personal feeling, for example, is that when you look at societies that have no immigration, you look at societies that have calcified ancient rivalries that rear up in really ugly ways sometimes. And we've been relatively free of those things. I think we've been relatively free of those because we keep bringing in new people who say, I don't know what you guys are arguing about. This is it's not very important to me. And that means a rejuvenation of democracy generation after generation to me. Once again, I think that's the kind of thing that we need to think about. Is immigration yielding nation building? Is it yielding the just society that we want? But I would argue that if you're looking to it to be the major driver of economic growth, I think you're looking in the wrong place. That's it.